All right, everybody, I am back with a brand new update today. And today, we're going to be talking a little bit about Disney, Star Wars, and Marvel, and how they have this deep hatred for men. And they're not even really trying to hide it anymore, but they are taking steps to correct their previous mistakes. And we're going to look at a couple of interesting stories today. And for me, I recognize this happening all the way back when The Last Jedi got released. It was disgusting what they did to Luke Skywalker in that film, and they just turned him into an old hermit on an island who turned his back on everything and had a moment of weakness trying to kill his nephew. Something that would have never happened to Luke Skywalker. And a lot of people said it was a brave move, that they went in a different direction, and that's not what they did. What they did is they sullied the image of Luke Skywalker. He had a redemption a little bit at the end of the film, but it was too little too late. And fans like me, what we wanted to see was Luke Skywalker do some really cool stuff. He was a character from my childhood where we were excited to see him actually do some amazing things, and we got robbed of that. That was the first glimpse at what Disney does to emasculate men. And then in that movie also was all about the men being stupid and the females being in power. And Disney has continued on with this notion ever since. And they've realized it's starting to bite them. But let's look at a couple of things here. And we're first going to look at the information that came out from the show Blade that has been in production hell for quite a while. So it says, the new Blade movie story details reveal why the Marvel reboot has had so much trouble. And they give you kind of a recap here that Blade's production has been plagued by multiple setbacks, including changes in writers, directors, causing delays and uncertainties. Initial rewrites of the script sidelined the character of Blade. That's what we're going to focus on here in a minute. And focus instead on other characters, female characters. Despite writer Michael Green taking over, the future of Blade remains uncertain, especially with its limited budget of only $100 million. And keep that budget in mind, because some of the things I'm going to show you here in a few minutes definitely have to do with budgets, okay? But they were giving this movie only $100 million. And here's the crazy part. This is the part I want to focus on. It says, Blade has suffered several setbacks during its tumultuous MCU production. And new story details reveal more issues with the movie's troubling journey from conception to screen. Blade was announced in 2019 at San Diego Comic-Con with acclaimed actor, I don't even want to say his name because I know I'm going to butcher it, set to play the vampire hunter. However, since its announcement, the production on Blade has been anything but smooth sailing. Now, a new report from Variety details some of the problems Blade has faced during its 4 years and counting production. So far, the movie has gone through at least 5 writers and 2 directors. Furthermore, after one batch of rewrites, the script barely featured Blade at all. According to Variety's report, the story at one point morphed into a narrative led by women and filled with life lessons. Blade was relegated to the 4th lead. Now that writing on Blade can continue after the resolution of the WGA strike, Logan writer Michael Green will resume duties. However, it'll be interesting to see where the movie ends up with its reportedly small $100 million budget. Guys, how ridiculous is this? How ridiculous is this? Disney does not like strong male characters as their leads. And if you look at the recent Ahsoka show, it was all about females. And this is some pretty crazy stuff. But it's worse than just what they talk about here with Blade. We're going to look at some stuff in regards to Star Wars. So this photo that I have here talks a little bit about the budget. And we're going to talk about budgets on several of the Disney projects on Disney+. But it says, Kenobi's budget was a fraction of She-Hulk. According to a new article from Variety, the Marvel show on Disney Plus received a budget of $225 million, while Kenobi only had a budget of $90 million. Why are they putting all this money into She-Hulk? Well, because she's a female. And what's interesting is there's a little buck to this trend because Andor, which is kind of a side project that a lot of people argue about the validity of that show, whether it was Star Wars or not. It was more of a drama. It's actually a forgettable show in my eyes. Not my favorite Disney show or Star Wars project. It was well done, but it definitely was not up there as far as being amazing. And the budget for Andor was $250 million. And there's no question that the Obi-Wan Kenobi show was probably the most important show that they were putting together on Disney Plus in regards to Star Wars. You were bringing back Obi-Wan Kenobi, Darth Vader, both Hayden Christensen and I don't know why I'm forgetting his name right now, but the guy playing Obi-Wan. And they were bringing them back. And there was no question that this was the most important project they were doing. And it received only a $90 million budget. Every other project that they have done for Disney Plus has received more money. And in fact, we talk about Ahsoka and all that stuff. It had a larger budget, but it had fewer people watching it. Disney hates males. They've been doing this. And in fact, the Indiana Jones movie had to be retooled after it was going to be about Waller-Bridges' character more than Harrison Ford's character. Luckily, Disney was able to come in and retroactively fix that after some screenings, but it still affected Obi-Wan. It still affected The Last Jedi. It still affected Blade. This is what Disney is known for. They like to emasculate men. They don't like strong male leads, and they're trying to make everything about female empowerment. And there's nothing wrong about female empowerment, but you can't forget your fan base. You cannot forget the people that got you to where you are. And they're struggling, and they're starting to fix these things. They've already fixed. I had a whole video on here about what they did with Snow White, and they're taking efforts to fix this. But in my eyes, I still think it's a little too late. Like, I think this has gone on for too long, and they've lost a lot of their fans. And it's clearly hurt them at the box office. It's hurting their numbers on streaming on Disney Plus. The streaming on everything on Disney Plus is going down. They're losing subscribers. They're having to raise the price. Things are not looking good for all of these franchises out there. And it's because of the decisions that Disney has made over the years. And we're going to see if they're going to fix all of this. We'll see when Blade comes out exactly how it ends up once it's finally made. We're going to see how, in more than a year and a half, when Snow White comes out, whether they fix that or not. You should see my video on that. It's kind of funny what they're doing to appease people with that whole movie. But they've done the damage is done. Like they have totally sullied these franchises, and I don't know if they're going to be able to fix the MCU, and I don't know if they're going to be able to fix Star Wars. I think they have lost the fans. So what do you guys think about these recent reports coming out of Variety and what's going on with both Disney, Marvel, and these franchises? I think it's just some bizarre stuff going on with Hollywood. They're trying to do weird things, and it's not working. But we'll continue to cover this stuff here in the future. I do appreciate the support. If you like the video, please hit that like button, subscribe, and hit that notification bell.